Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how nice.
The WNBA has completely lost the plot over the latest spectacle, and the star of this circus is Angel Reese. She's boldly claiming she's coming for Caitlin Clark, as if a proven, record-breaking icon can be toppled by someone more known for sideline theatrics, questionable injuries, and non-stop complaints. Add in the constant salary whining, and it's hard to take any of this seriously. At this point, Angel hasn't made history. She's made herself look wildly out of touch with reality.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
It's honestly laughable that she thinks she has what it takes to surpass Caitlin Clark, a player who's making history year after year. So far, the only thing Reese has mastered is turning herself into a punchline. Maybe she's racking up trophies for embarrassment, because that's how it looks. Before Angel Reese starts talking about taking over the WNBA, she might want to take a long look at her reputation. Switching coaches won't suddenly make her a highlight reel. What she really needs is an attitude adjustment. Look at Angel Reese, there's nothing she does that makes you stop and say, "Did you see that?" Now she apparently believes that working with David Alexander, LeBron James' trainer, is going to magically turn her into the next superstar in women's basketball. Please. Training with an elite coach doesn't transform you into a superhuman capable of dethroning Caitlin Clark. While Reese is busy trying to fix basic movement and fundamentals, Clark is actually sharpening her shooting and playmaking, the skills that truly matter if you want to dominate the game. So good luck to Angel, working on whatever it is she's working on. Meanwhile, Clark is refining the very abilities that already put her miles ahead. Reese may have had a solid run at LSU, but thinking she belongs in Clark's league is like claiming you're about to drop an album because you sang in the shower for 5 minutes. That's not confidence, that's delusion. Reese might have been the queen at LSU, but Clark is the queen of basketball, period. Reese keeps talking about surpassing Clark while Caitlin is out there redefining the game itself. But sure, tell me more about dethroning a legend when you haven't even truly arrived at the pro level yet.
For me and Camilla, this is the most we've ever lost in our life. I only lost 7 games in my last 2 years at LSU. So it's been hard for me. But adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to get myself.
Let's rewind to the 2023 NCAA championship. You remember it. That moment when Reese tried to hijack Caitlin Clark's spotlight with that childish, "You can't see me" taunt, waving it right in Clark's face. Yeah, it was memorable, but for all the wrong reasons. While Reese was busy putting on a WWE-style performance with hand gestures, Clark was still doing what she always does, being the best player on the floor and effortlessly outscoring everyone, including Reese. Reese's so-called big moment was nothing more than a desperate grab for relevance, a cheap attempt to steal attention that lasted, 5 seconds? Meanwhile, Clark was making history. One was focused on dominance and legacy, the other was chasing headlines. You honestly can't make this stuff up.
There is no one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
And while we're talking numbers, let's look at Reese's WNBA debut, because it definitely wasn't headline-worthy. Caitlin Clark stepped into the league and immediately set it on fire, averaging 19.2 points per game and piling up assists like a seasoned veteran. Meanwhile, Reese put up 13.6 points a night, nearly 6 fewer than Clark, just in case anyone missed that gap. Clark didn't stop there. She led all rookies in assists at 8.4 per game, showing complete control of the floor. Reese, on the other hand, still seemed stuck trying to find a reliable shot. Credit for effort, sure, but effort doesn't close that kind of distance. Now, let's talk Rookie of the Year. Clark walked away with the award. No debate, no drama. It wasn't even close. Reese? She managed to be a finalist, which at this point feels more like a participation ribbon than real contention. Clark didn't just arrive in the WNBA, she announced herself as a force ready to dominate. Reese is still playing catch-up.
But they still ask you about Rookie of the Year. Yeah. What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm cool. The pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm like, all right, cool, I could just hoop. So I don't know when like it started to just break out where I was just in rookie of year conversations. I'm like, all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
But it doesn't stop there, because Reese's off-court life has basically turned into a full-blown circus. She lands a signature shoe deal with Reebok, and suddenly we're supposed to be impressed. A shoe deal is great and all, but it's hard to call it groundbreaking when the on-court production hasn't matched the hype. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is actively reshaping the game every time she steps on the floor, while Reese is busy curating her Instagram lifestyle. It looks nice, sure, but if she thinks likes and captions are going to help her beat Clark, she's in for a reality check. At some point, the focus has to shift back to basketball. And since Reese loves bringing up money, let's go there. She's been very vocal about her WNBA salary, $73,345, while Clark is locked in on the game, not worrying about the price of a latte. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Now let's talk about this new unrivaled 3x3 league Reese is banking on as her big moment. The league launches in January 2025 and features 34 of the top players in the world. That's serious competition. Reese isn't walking into opportunity, she's walking into a lion's den. Yes, she'll reportedly make around $250,000 for the 8-week season, a massive jump from her roughly $81,000 WNBA salary. Financially, that's a win. But money doesn't erase the problem. She'll be facing players operating on a completely different level. This isn't about headlines or hype, it's about performance. And right now, Reese's game doesn't say ready. It says unfinished. What makes it even tougher is the talent she'll be surrounded by. Elite, proven players who show up to dominate, not just be seen. Reese might be chasing the spotlight, but once the ball goes up, attention shifts fast to those who can actually deliver. If she thinks showing up and enjoying the experience will make her the next big thing, she's headed for a rude awakening. Critics are already calling this an overreach, and honestly, they may be right. The league will be exciting and stacked with top-tier talent, but Reese simply hasn't shown she belongs in that class yet. While the exposure could help her brand, it could also expose the gap in her game. There's nowhere to hide against the best.
So I think it's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they ride for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes.
And here's the reality check. Reese can say whatever she wants about surpassing Caitlin Clark, but at the end of the day, they're just words. Talk is cheap, and it means nothing in professional basketball. If you want to challenge the best, you'd better have the game to back it up. Right now, Reese's mouth is doing far more work than her performance. The confidence is loud, but the skill set hasn't caught up. Clark has already proven she's the real thing. Reese, meanwhile, is still stuck in the I'll get there someday stage. And let's not overlook this. While Reese is training with one of the best names in the business, Clark is still grinding daily, putting in the kind of work that actually translates on the court. You can't buy greatness. You can't train with a top coach and suddenly expect to knock off a legend. It takes years of consistency, discipline, and most importantly, elite talent. While Reese is focused on refining basic movement, Clark is busy making history every time she steps onto the floor. So when Reese talks about dethroning Clark, the only thing she's really knocking down is her grip on reality. That unrivaled league might be a solid opportunity for Reese to gain exposure. But let's be honest, it could also be the stage where the gap between her and Clark becomes impossible to ignore. It's easy to talk about taking over when the competition isn't elite. It's a different story when you're lined up against the best in the world.